Wuchang Fallen Feathers is going to be the next Stellar Blade. It is going to be the next title that infuriates snowflakes online because of the gorgeous lead female, and we're finally getting more information after hands-on previews, and things are looking very positive for these devs. But before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, there are snowflakes online who are triggered over everything. Marvel's Rivals has been the latest target because they dared to put characters in the game that actually look appealing. They didn't go in the Concord direction and they're making bank from it, and everybody in that game is caked up. Venom's caked up, Captain America's caked up, Invisible Woman, Squirrel Girl. I mean, every character looks really fantastic, but when that happens, it basically paints a target on the backs of the devs and the games, because there are some people out there who think, oh my god, you're disgusting developers for objectifying characters. Newsflash, fictional characters are already objects because they're not real. But Wuchang Fallen Feathers is a title we had announced a few years ago. We've been getting some more information on it as it's been getting closer to release, and basically everybody at this point in time is praising it. But I think as time goes on and as we get closer to that release date, we're maybe a couple of months away, I do think there's going to be a lot of backlash surrounding it because of this one little reason. She's got some great assets on her, if you can't tell, and that is why Stellar Blade was attacked. It was a really good game. Was it a 10 out of 10? No, but it was really awesome. You had really cool boss battles that were all very unique. You had really good enemy designs, but Eve caused a lot of controversy because she was beautiful. And whenever we see a beautiful lead female character now, it's like the journos melt down because they think that you can't be beautiful and strong at the same time, which is an absurd claim to make. And this character looks like a mix between Eve and Lara Croft, at least in my opinion. She's gorgeous. It's not just her body. Her face also is very pretty. I love the armor sets that they've highlighted her in so far. So many people are talking about it, but I wanted to quickly go over the info for this game in case you actually don't know about it. So the hands-on previews have all gone really well, but it is a Souls-like. It's got connected maps, it's got fluid combat, more action than stat-driven, Diablo-like skills, specialize in a style, there's build variety, different weapons, dodge and parry, bring resources, and we have only gotten a few teasers and trailers at this point. From what I have seen, we've gotten a handful of images, we've gotten 2 main trailers, and then 1 gameplay teaser. I believe it was about 10 minutes long, and it really highlights what this game has to offer. It looks really cool. I do think that the combat looks fluid. Obviously, I haven't played it myself. I will be streaming it at launch, so I can't judge it beyond what you guys are also seeing, but it does look like there is quite a lot of build variety. It does look really action-packed. To me, it looks almost more like Sekiro than something like a Rise of the Ronin or even a Ghost of Tsushima, which is definitely not a bad thing. I do think, though, that this is going to infuriate a hell of a lot of people, but the ratios have all been very positive for this game. I mean, even going to the 2024 showcase trailer from just a few months ago, 33,000 likes to only 355 dislikes. Comments are very positive, and I had actually put up a thread on this saying Wuchang Fallen Feathers lead is pretty as fuck. That's my take. I love seeing beautiful women in my video games. I love seeing beautiful men in my video games, and it seems that people are most certainly agreeing, as it's got 2.9k likes and 119 comments. People are saying things like, as they should be, definitely added to my wish list. I stand corrected from my previous comments. I might buy this game now. People are putting fire emotes. I was told this wasn't possible. What special technology are they using? Yeah, I can't wait for the where are her organs comments, because that's just what happens. And it's so fucking sad to me because I totally get that tits might not be a draw-in per people. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not just sitting here saying, oh, I think this game looks amazing because she's got knockers on her. I think that the gameplay looks really good. I really like her outfits. And yes, she's beautiful. That's a perk. Would that sell me on a game alone? Absolutely not. There are plenty of amazing games out there with beautiful characters that I would rather play over a technically inferior or mediocre game. But I do think that these developers clearly know what they wanted people to see, and they are marketing it that way, and that is not a bad thing. They are just marketing a game for their audience, which are, yeah, I mean, people who definitely are not interested in games like Concord, that's for sure. I can clearly see two big reasons this game will sell millions. And does beauty mean to you guys just make his bust size as big as possible and that's it, I guess? Or do you really include the facial beauty too? And I said the same thing I've said in this video. I think that she looks like a mix between Eve and Lara Croft. Maybe it's just the ponytail that reminds me of Lara and the face of Eve. Maybe it's the jawline. She just reminds me of those two characters put together, and I think that that's great. And yes, this is a Chinese developed game, so Wukong last year, Wuchang this year. I do think that this is a very good look for Chinese developers at this point in time, that they are listening to Western gamers, and maybe just gamers in totality, way more than even Western developers are, or developers in other regions are. I know Korean developers are also doing a great job right now with games like The First Descendant, for example, that has kind of fallen off, but I thought that it was pretty good. I personally wouldn't dump hundreds or thousands of hours into it like I would other games like, Black Myth Wukong, for example. But I do think that it is great to see so many developers from so many different regions being so successful. And while we don't have an exact release date, they did say sometime in 2025, and the last bit of information we got sounded around Q2. So we probably are only a few months away from it, though I'm really excited for it. I think that the trailers have looked really solid so far. The gameplay hands-on also looked pretty good. I'm pretty hyped for it. Obviously, maybe it'll come out and it'll be a pile of trash and it will not be the experience we wanted, and we're just sitting here appreciating the beauty of the lead character, which I do think is commendable given so many characters in video games these days are ugly, and I don't want to look at ugly characters all of the time. If it makes sense for their story, like a Brienne of Tarth, I'm perfectly fine with it, but otherwise, I like to see attractive characters, men and women, and I think most gamers would agree, except for the sensitive snowflakes. But I will be keeping my eye on this. I will be covering it, but I think as we get more teasers and trailers, we are going to see a hell of a lot of backlash surrounding this, and it is going to be the next Stellar Blade because it's going to cause a lot of controversy amidst the people who are too sensitive on the internet. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.